Welcome to another episode of Cup of Joe. I am the host, Joe Van Kampen, and today we have the CEO and co-founder, Sean Leonard. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Joe.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about ActiveDEMAND and the business that you've created. What is ActiveDEMAND?
Yeah, so ActiveDEMAND is a multi-tenant marketing automation platform. So it's unlike other marketing automation platforms that are built for basically one location or one business. We basically have a full tech stack that allows people to deploy advanced marketing, omni-channel marketing solutions across a large fleet of companies or businesses, or in the case of senior living, communities. Each of the communities is like an independent business. So yeah, it's the case that we're a marketing automation system for multi-tenant marketing automation system.
Very cool. So with that being said, you're basically, we would refer to them as enterprise level clients, lots of different locations and different things like that. How is it that you ended up in the senior living space and got some, I guess, recognition in the space?
Yeah, it's a good question. And I would say that one is having an advanced marketing automation system that communicates. If we think about what marketers do, it's really to help make it easier to sell. That's really the whole role of marketing. And we recognized that early, that if we are going to serve marketers in what marketing has to do, in other words, making it easier to sell, then we have to have absolutely outstanding integrations into the tools that the salespeople have.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So if it's a case that the marketers can do their job and the salespeople immediately see the benefit, and also the marketers can help the salespeople during the process of sales engagement, right, that the marketers are going to win. Okay. So we took the approach of, instead of just saying, we're a marketing system, the sales systems exist, with Mars and Venus, we took the approach of deeply integrating with the sales CRMs, so that one is we're able to get, of course, a flow of leads and stuff like that very easily to the salespeople, but more importantly, being able to get revenue attribution, funnel attribution, right? So to the question about how we got into senior living, so we, as a marketing stack, multi-tenant marketing stack, we didn't seek out senior living, but if you have a solution that fits a real problem, people end up finding you, right? So it's a case that we had the multi-tenant solution. It was integrating with a lot of the the big B2B CRM, Salesforce, et cetera. Sure. And one of the senior living facilities came to us and they said, yeah, well, Salesforce is a horrible CRM for managing occupancy problems. Oh, okay. Right?
Sure.
So they said, there's niche CRMs in the space, and if you could do what you did with the B2B CRMs and do it for the senior living CRMs, you're going to solve a huge problem. So that's what we did, is we started working with the CRM vendors to build this deep integration. And now it's the case that not only are we able to seamlessly integrate with the businesses that are actually getting the benefit from the marketing, but as well the salespeople immediately see, or leasing counselors as they are in senior living, see the direct benefit of not just marketing automation, but also sales process automation and automated follow-ups and this other type of stuff, right?
So do they need a CRM in order to be able to benefit from ActiveDEMAND?
I would say the businesses who use ActiveDEMAND, like for example in senior living, you need a piece of software to manage, really that's geared towards selling. Right? Because it is true, whether we like it or not, as salespeople have unique challenges that are different than marketing folks, right? Marketing folks, they fish with very large nets, right? Whereas salespeople, it's more of a one-on-one engagement with people,
Right.
And if they're not using a piece of software to manage that engagement, then the amount of engagement is limited, right? So it's a case they can't scale, right? Yes, I can remember that person and the dialogue I have with that person, but multiply that by 50 and very quickly, your spreadsheets are getting overfilled. So the answer is that to get the true benefit out of a marketing automation system, you do need sales execution. And if you have sales execution, that implies that you do have dedicated software for the salespeople to use. So.
Sure. Now, you mentioned at the beginning of this that one of the main reasons that you guys are in the space is because your ability to work with enterprise level clients.
Yeah.
If somebody who only does have one location has a CRM, are they still able to be supported by your business?
Oh, absolutely. It's a case that, one, again, if we're connecting to the CRM, the problem of demand generation, customer journey acceleration, it doesn't change, right? So there is still a benefit of, really the benefit of automation is repeatability and taking those tasks that are just administrative or labor and having the machine do it. That's universal, whether you're a small business or an enterprise business or multi-location business like senior living. So
the efficiencies lie in the scalability of ActiveDEMAND. Makes a lot of sense. So right now, where do you find the biggest challenges? Like, what do you think the biggest challenges the senior living community is facing with the automation aspect?
Yeah, and it's interesting, and it's true of many businesses, is quite often they don't know what they don't know. Right? And they may not, a good example is one of my previous companies, we were in industrial process control. We wrote complex automation systems, and our accounting department, we didn't realize this, we're doing everything, all of the transactions manually with spreadsheets, and they weren't able to make the connection that a lot of the stuff that they're doing by hand could just be automated.
Right.
And so back to the question is, a lot of the I would say the businesses in, for example, senior living, they are we send postcards, maybe we pay a place for mom or whatever it is. They just don't understand the benefit of using advanced technology to accelerate those very long buyer journeys. Right?
So mentioning a place for mom and basically any other third-party referral company that we come up against, how can what your business does, how can that support our clients in maybe not having to pay those hefty third-party referral fees?
No, I think it's okay to pay third-party referral fees. If they brought a lead, the business is still worth the money.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
But where the problem is, and it's through all types of marketing, marketing that we do, marketing anybody does, it's understanding what's working and what's not. Right? And truly understanding that this dollar spent resulted on this person moving in. Right?
Yeah.
And if you have no information, and one of these marketing channels come in and say, "Oh, here's a lead that we're giving to you." How can you, as a business, know that lead you didn't already know about them?
Right. Yeah.
And if you're only using one channel for all of your business, then okay, yeah, it came from there. But what about your signage? What about the relationships in the community? What about the relationships with the churches? What about et cetera, right? You're working on all of these, whether you like it or not. You have an omni-channel marketing strategy. And if you don't have the attribution, you're paying the wrong person. Right?
So you're at a point here where basically what ActiveDEMAND is able to support you with is being able to correlate that revenue back to whatever that channel is, whatever that avenue is that those individuals came through from.
The first touch, right? So especially, with COVID, it's interesting how it related to senior living is that a lot of the buyers, like my wife is a physician in senior living, and so it's a case that her patients and new patients, if you go before COVID, they're not really technically savvy,
Right.
right? But COVID actually forced the issue, right? So that now people are, FaceTiming with their kids, and they're actually accepting technology.
Right.
So it's a case that with digital marketing and the client base are accepting of technology, they're going to be looking not just at the street signs, they're going to
Right.
be using Google. They're
Yeah.
going to be looking in Facebook. They're going to be searching outside of the boots on the ground strategy.
Right.
I mean, models for finding places. And if it's a case that they are searching and they're engaging with web assets or ads or any of this other type of stuff, that's where our technology is so strong, is that we can track from the very first touch on the website or through an ad, or even if the person doesn't convert, we
Right.
continue tracking the person through the entire journey, so we can get the attribution back to that very first anonymous visit to the community's website.
That's very cool. So, what differentiates you guys from other marketing automation softwares?
Yeah, there's lots of differentiation, lots of factors. One is the CRM integrations, clearly.
Sure.
Another one is our native call tracking system. And
Okay.
for some industries, like I would say, if you're a plumber, if you need a plumber, you're not going to fill out a form. You're going to make a call.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so industries, especially like senior living, a
Yeah.
lot of maybe they're not super comfortable with filling out forms. They're going to call the local. The community that they drive by, or they're thinking for a loved one. So if you spend money and somebody on marketing and somebody decides to call, if you can't make that connection between the marketing effort and that strong buying signal, is obviously a gap. So our native integration with call tracking is a unique capability. But really the real magic is in, especially if there's more than one community, being able to do marketing programs across a fleet of communities,
Right.
and not have to increase the amount of labor. That's really the magic. So if you're looking at other companies, as soon as there's two communities and you're using any other tech stack on the marketing side of things, they're just not designed for it.
Right.
So for example, if Mary goes into the community on the east side of town, and she's also possibly looking at the community on the west side of town.
Right.
If those two communities are in the sales CRM independent, most marketing automation systems can't
correlate that.
Yeah, because they're looking at just one record.
Right.
Another thing, and that's really, if you look at the very nice CRMs that are in, for example, senior living, what's
Right.
the big differentiator between the CRMs that are specially made for senior living compared to, say, like Salesforce?
Right.
It's the relationship model, right? Because typically when somebody's moving into looking for a place for mom to move in,
Sure.
there's a group of people involved in the decision.
Right.
Right? Yeah. So there's definitely mom who's going to move in. There's maybe children, etc. So
Right.
these CRMs do a wonderful job of maintaining and managing the relationships between all these people.
Right. And connecting that map to everybody.
And we, as well, have that strong model as well. So
Right.
we can actually get the relationship early and be able to build automations based on the relationship model. Right?
cool.
So it's like, hey, Marge, I see that, thanks for coming in and touring this week. Hopefully you saw what our facilities and you liked it. And here's some more information on the facilities. And I hope your daughter, Mary, enjoyed herself as well. And in the same sequence, Mary, I see that you brought your mom in, and would you like to discuss goals of care? Right. That type of thing is impossible, one, to capture in B2B CRMs,
Right.
but it's absolutely impossible to capture in any other marketing automation system that doesn't have a powerful relationship model.
Right.
So.
Very cool. So from a community perspective, is this something that they can do themselves? Like, can they work in ActiveDEMAND themselves?
Yeah, and I think that it's a good question. I think anybody can do marketing, and I would say, I argue, especially in senior living, it's about the actual facility, right? The people in the facility, the location of the facility, and arguably the people there are doing a fantastic job of welcoming new prospects, et cetera. So they're marketing, whether they're thinking about it or not.
Right.
Now, can they take advantage of a system like ours? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, just for example, community events. You know, a Sunday brunch. You know, let's get all the loved ones or their friends of friends to come in to the Sunday brunch and see the facilities and see the care that they're giving. That type of stuff is very easy to do with a platform like ours.
Right.
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 Now, let's, if you're thinking about advanced marketing strategies, because we have very powerful set of tools.
Yeah.
It's like, if analogy is, if you, yes, I can buy Snap-on tools for my car.
Right.
I'm not a mechanic,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
If I really need to get that car optimized, then chances are I'm either going to have to learn to be a mechanic or hire professionals.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
So.
Very cool. So can ActiveDEMAND support communities on the recruitment level?
Oh, we use it ourselves for that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a case that recruitment is very similar to, it is a marketing function.
Right.
Right? Because if you think about whatever product or services you're selling, you got to build trust,
Yeah.
right? You've got to deliver your brand. There's multi-touch process. There's a funnel. All of that stuff is true for recruiting as well.
Right.
Right. So it's you want one is that attract the best prospects, build the trust with the best prospects so that they recognize your brand as being they're part of the future.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that, to build trust, is maintain consistent messaging, consistent branding, and consistent tempo of the communications. And that is exactly what automation's for, is
Very cool.
maintaining consistent messaging, consistent branding, and consistent tempo of messaging. So,
Awesome. Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything that you would like the viewers to know about your business that we might not have already talked about?
yeah, I would say it's a case that don't be afraid of technology. It's a case that technology is, I had this question brought to me before about, tracking and attribution and privacy and all this other type of stuff. And my response was that Google knows a lot about me.
Yeah.
Right? He knows where my flights are, knows when my meetings are coming, and it's a case that where I am right now, Google knows.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that because of the value that's being delivered to me.
Right.
So whatever you're doing in marketing with technology, always remember that there's a person that you're engaging with. You're providing value. You have a valuable asset that can change somebody's lives, change people's lives. And if it's a case you can shorten their journey with the adoption of technology, the value transfer is massive. Value velocity is what I call it. The velocity of the value transferred from your company to your clients is increased if you are adopting the technology.
Very cool. Sean, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
And for our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to reach out to ActiveDEMAND if you have any other questions, or of course, our team here at Citizen as well. Thank you very much.